Nicole, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Partying. What are you up to?
Oh, I might be playing hooky from work, but no one needs to know that but you.
So's Kelly. What's up?
So I'm hoping to get your guidance on how I can explain and help my husband better understand, or just understand in general, my recent diagnosis of OCD.
Yeah, you know me, dude. OCD. What are your like top 2 or 3 ticks? And by the way, hold on. I just said ticks. That's insider baseball. I know some people are gonna be like, OCD is not ticks. I know, I have it. So I'm just, you know what I'm talking about, Nicole. For all you keyboard warriors. All right, go, Nicole. So what are some of your ticks?
So really, it's just like intrusive thoughts, rumination, things like that.
Are you postpartum?
I had a baby a year ago.
Okay.
But
and when you say intrusive thoughts, super scary ones to you?
Scary, just overall inappropriate.
Yeah. If you are, do me a favor. As we're talking, I want you to put your hand on your chest, right at the top of your chest. And as I ask these questions, I want you to tell me if you start feeling your chest tighten up on you, okay?
What if it's already started tightening up?
That's the beauty of OCD, is your body starts to get anxious about the possibility that you're going to get really super anxious.
Yeah.
Are you worried that if you were to write these thoughts down or say them out loud, someone's going to take away your kid?
1,000%. So, it was actually an episode of yours that kind of prompted me to even speak out about them.
Mm-hmm.
I've struggled with them for as long as I can remember. And I just was always too afraid to even bring it up. And so after I listened to your episode, I immediately called my psychiatrist and started talking to them about it. And yeah, that's when they told me.
Were you honest with your psychiatrist?
Yes.
I just want to stop right there and tell you I'm really proud of you, because that's scary. That's a scary step, number 1. Good on you. I'm proud of you for that. That's hard. And did your psychiatrist flinch and go, oh my gosh, and start legal proceedings to take your kid away?
No.
No. Is it a he or she?
He.
Did he smile at you and go, I'm so sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully you know that when he did that, he was letting you know you're not crazy and you're not alone. You might be a little crazy, but you're not alone. You're not alone, right?
Definitely crazy.
It feels that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. And then what was your plan after that?
I don't know. I feel like I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around it myself.
Okay. Did he give you any therapeutic exercises, like get a special journal and write these down?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I need to have a follow-up appointment now.
Okay.
Really, so far, he's just adjusted my medication.
Okay. There's what the adjustment of the medication is going to do is it's really going to take that alarm system and just turn it really low so you can go do the things you need to do.
Yeah.
The worst, scariest, most awful part of this is these are often things that need to be said in the presence of other people so that they lose their power, because they're insane. They're absurd, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had an impulse to act on them?
No.
Yeah. And then underneath these wild thoughts, and by the way, people who are listening, like, what are you talking about? Sometimes these intrusive thoughts can be about just they pop in your head. Sexual thoughts, violence, abandonment. I'm like this. They're so insane. They're fantasy, and then what they quickly get wrapped up in is the shame of what kind of mom thinks that thought, or what kind of mom has that thought pop in her head, right? What kind of wife would ever think that? And then, oh God, I've got to double down and hide this because if anyone finds this out, they're going to take my baby away. I'm going to lose my husband. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose everything, right?
Yep.
Take a big, big, big deep breath for me and hold it for a second. 1, 2, and then let it out. For some reason, and you and I could probably talk for weeks, it's probably better between you and your therapist because I know these are heavy. Your brain's trying to keep you safe and trying to play out things so that they never happen. And it's gone a little haywire. The alarm systems are just ringing really loud now, kind of sporadically. And there's no smoke in the kitchen. They're just going off. And I know that's terrifying and scary. I'm sorry that's happening. Right. Tell me why you have tears. Tears of relief that you're not crazy, or tears of I hate this and I want it to stop?
All of the above.
All of it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I get that. That was a terrible question I asked you.
No, not at all.
Well, duh. How is your husband responding to this?
He's great. I love my husband, and he has supported me through everything. The last year or so has been a little up and down as I really kind of have dived into my mental health and really tried to figure out what's going on. There was some childhood trauma that kind of resurfaced, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to take this seriously and really start talking to people about it and getting help. And so, the more I talk to my therapist and the more open I am, it seems like every time they're like, okay, well, you have this, you have ADHD, now you have OCD. And sometimes I feel like my husband's like, what's gonna come up next?
Right.
But I don't know if he understands that it's just because it's finally coming out, or is he gonna think I'm crazy? Or
he's thought honestly, just like my wife, he's thought that for a long time. Sometimes sometimes our loved ones, it's a concern, like, how do I love you? Or I don't want the person I'm with to be hurt. Can I give you a strange example? I've never talked about this one. So here's what honesty gets you. Honesty is not just telling the story. And by the way, some of the specifics of some of your intrusive thoughts, your husband may never need to know that specificity. But knowing I have my brain just like a Polaroid just flashes these scary things, these scary pictures of our baby getting hurt, of me doing something terrible, and I don't want to talk about it. And of course, I've never act on it or anything like that, but it's almost like a horror movie, and it's right there. And here's the important way to communicate. Here's what it makes me feel. So here's something I've never talked about on the show. One of my little weird tics is, and it's gotten infinitely better as I've worked on getting healthier and healthier over the years, but especially, you talked to me 20 years ago, 15 years ago, it rarely it pops up every once in a while now, but only when I'm very, very tired and or if I've eaten like shenanigans, if I just eaten off the rails. Imagine a song would come on the radio of a band that I really liked, and maybe I've met the singer, maybe I saw them back in college in a small place, and now they've gotten bigger. When the song came on, and then we would get to where my wife and I would get to where we were going, I needed to wait in the car until that song was over as a way to communicate to those guys, I'm here with you. And I know that sounds nuts, but if I were to get out and walk out of the car, it felt in my body as though my friend really needed me and I was leaving him on the side of the road. And it was, I knew, like, objectively, that singer in that band has no idea who I am at all, period. It's just a strange thing. I don't know why it did that, it just did. And so the first few years we were married, my wife was just sitting there with me. And I think she was trying to figure it out. Like, is this for real? And I would just sing along to the song. It was no big deal. And then when it was over, I would go inside. And then now I would say, hey, I'm just gonna finish the song. And she's like, great. And she'll go get the seats in the restaurant. She'll go, like, it's just a matter of which things are you gonna fight and which ones are you not gonna fight. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the communication was, hey, I feel like, and I know this is madhouse, I feel like if I leave the doors unlocked this one night, this will be the night that they come storming our house. And so I'm just going to check a couple times. I don't even fight it anymore. Now I check my text messages or Instagram while I'm checking the log. Like, it's just a thing. Right? It doesn't bother me. And then there's other things that I worked really hard over the last 10, 15, 20 years I want to stop doing this behavior. And that's great. Intrusive thoughts are one of those things that really impact every other second of your life. And it's worth doing that work. What you have to believe is there is on the back end of this peace and light. You're not a terrible person. And you're not going to keep having these things over and over and over if you put the work in. Does that give you peace?
Yes.
Okay. You're not crazy. I mean, again, kind of. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm glad that you have a psychiatrist that looks at you and smiles and says, hey, you're not alone. I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, okay?
Okay.
I am not going to tell you what I think you should do with those thoughts on this phone call. I want you to discuss that with your counselor.
Okay.
There is some literature that says getting some of these scary, intrusive thoughts out and on paper so you can look at them and go, oh my gosh. And your body actually acknowledges, not that, right? And then there are some that suggest that if you write these things down, it further entrenches them. It makes it more likely that you might go back to. So everybody's different. And so I think this is something that you need to practice with your counselor. Okay.
Okay.
And I have secondhand, not firsthand, but secondhand knowledge with somebody that I care about. She's been a ride or die of mine for 25 years. Not my wife, but a close friend. Medication was really, really helpful as a part of the journey. That's okay. Cool. What a time to be alive that we live in a world where we got science that can help out in this little weird moment, right?
Yeah.
And paying special, close attention to things like sleep, exercise, asking your husband, can you help with the following? Here's what I need. And not feeling like all of this is on you. Do you have that sort of support network?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Begin making those peripheral things a priority. And then we're going to build an ecosystem so that when we sit down with a counselor can give us some really specific, tailored techniques to us that can help. That sound good?
Yeah.
I do think there's one thing you can do in the affirmative, though, that I don't mind telling you that I think you should do. Okay?
Okay.
I want you to get a journal. Do you have one?
No.
Okay. I want you to either get on Amazon today and buy an obnoxiously expensive one. And your husband's going to be like, what? And like, yep, this is my good mom journal. Or just run to Walmart and get one for like $8. Whatever it is. I want you to begin to write every single day. Today I was a great mom because. Today I was a great wife because. And I want you to begin to write actual things you did that day. Okay?
Okay.
And here's what we're doing. We're teaching our body and reminding ourselves of all the amazing things we're doing. And waking up 4 times in the night still, that is how you are a great mom today. Making a whole bunch of different food like meals, snacks, or whatever, 1-year-olds, and then also changing a bunch of cha-cha-cha diapers, that makes you a great mom today. When your kid was screaming, the fact that you didn't just go running out into the street, like that made you a great mom today. I want you to begin to write those things down, and as you write them, don't just speed through them. Give yourself a minute 2, exhale. I was a great mom today. Baby was crying, and I picked him up and held him through the screaming, through the tenseness. And then he or she relaxed. And, oh, man. I was a great wife today because that knucklehead came home and there was dinner on the table, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Let's go get with a counselor ASAP. And lead with, I've been diagnosed with a whole bunch of stuff. Here's what's really important for me. I want to work on these wild, intrusive thoughts. I've never had an impulse to act on any of them, of course. But some of them are violent or some of them are sexual in nature, and they're just wild, and I need them to stop. Will you talk through some techniques with me? And that's your entry point. And then you've given your therapist a roadmap as to, hey, here's the problem, here's what I'm struggling with. And that roadmap, you listen to the show, it may go all over the place. But at least y'all have a thing you're going to work on together moving forward. Whew. I'm proud of you, kid. I'm proud of you. If you haven't heard it today, you're a great mom. That little one's lucky to have you. So is that me-headed husband of yours, too.